Welcome back to what Arty Noobs for Channel Disturbance. This is an 88, it's a tier 6 British tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of zoeballz of RTR. Well, at that time she was in RTR, now she's in Reborn. And in this battle, she's got two platoon mates, Just a Pixel in the RTR KV2 and Fluffy Little Kitten in the SU8. Okay, they're moving to the west side of the map. Now, the 88, it's a bit of a terrible tank destroyer when it comes to slow. Just the Pixel's giving Zoe a bit of a nudge to speed her along. It's got a good gun though, 17-pounder gun, and that one will do 150 alpha, penetrating 171mm of armor. But it's incredibly slow, and it does have some fairly glaring weak spots, especially that cupola right on top of the vehicle. Yep, that's fairly obvious. So he's moving into position to get shots on the enemy. She was spotted. I think that 12-ton saw her, and Just Pixel's pulling back as well. His sixth sense probably gone off, and it smacks to me that somebody is at... Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Somebody was up in the bushes. It was the AMX ELC. And she's just taken a round from the Arty, the M41, but it only hit the tracks. Goes for the kill, gets it. I thought for a second it was the AMX 12-ton, but then I thought, no, it's those bushes. She went round the corner, and the moment she went round the corner and exposed herself to those bushes, the enemy saw her. Well, she's not spotted now. And now she can move up on the enemy. So Just a Pixel is just behind, so he can shoot over the top of her. Okay. And of course we've got Fluffy Little Kitten somewhere behind, shooting in this direction. Oh! There's the 12-ton again. He's only at the centre line though, and he's being teased by our Type 64. I don't think he can actually see Zoe at all. She's well hidden in those bushes now. Don't think she's got a shot on that BK, but she might get the occasional shot on that 12-ton when he comes up to the ridgeline. Now this replay is from the 1.02 update. It was one of the forgotten replays that got left behind when Wargaming kept changing the client every couple of weeks or so, which made it very difficult for us to actually get all of the replays done. So he's trying to get shots on this 12-ton. He's not being very accommodating, but he's not supposed to be. Well, Zoe's decided that the better way to actually handle this is to move further down and try and spot the enemy heavy tanks and their tank destroyers. Oh! Now that was an explosion on Just a Pixel. Yeah, he's taken a lot of damage and he's now hiding behind Zoe. And Zoe's just bounced around. Oh, and now that was an Arty round and Zoe's been stunned as well. So he's blind firing back at the enemy, and she's bouncing rounds a lot. And it's the one good thing about this tank destroyer, it does have fairly good armor apart from the weak spots. And although Zoe's taken speak too soon, she has taken a round now from an M41 HMC. She's going to take down this T3485M. Bounce that one off his side. Go for the T34 shielded. He's getting closer. Here we go. He's seen her and he dies. But Zoe has been seen, and unfortunately Just a Pixel is now a wreck and he's blocking her backward movement. So she has to turn herself sideways to get round him, and that means she's being hit by the enemy Fifi. Yep, the enemy team got a lefty and she's got to wait for her tracks to fix. Best to drive forward. And here's the T3485. One into him. She took him round through the gun. And she kills him. It's a fast fire rate on this gun. It's only about 4 seconds. But she's taken 2 shots now from the enemy Arty. And 1 from that M4. Bounced around from Matilda. Okay, she's still spotted. Receiving fire. And the Arty rounds are going to continue, I should think. Yep, there's another one. She just needs to keep moving so she can't be tracked by the enemy Arty. That was, I think, an Arty round. She's blind firing down there. I'd hold on to the shells for the moment, Zoe. She's got 3 kills already. But I think at the moment she's actually hitting the ground just ahead of her. Because she's firing through the bush and she couldn't see exactly where the shells were going. We definitely know there's at least 2 tanks ahead of us. The Matilda and the M4. We know that the... Oh, there's one of them. It's Matilda. Getting good pen on those. The 17-pounder gun will just carve straight through the armour. She's bouncing the rounds from him in return. But the M4 has found us. And that means the enemy Arty is going to found us as well. Yes, there he is. Move to avoid the shells. Now, something you may have noticed, actually, Zoe's got 2 marks of excellence on her barrel. Oh, took her round from the M4, but she dodged the shell from the Fifi. Okay, she'll need to move again very shortly because that Fifi will be firing again any second. Loads of people pinging the map, but most of them are probably dead. Oh dear, as usual. Well, at least Fluffy's got a kill. That's quite nice. I think the enemy are mostly up on the hill. The Leopard's moving over to the east side of the map. I think they've got 2 assets over there. The Arty are probably... Well, we know that one of them is by the railway line, the Fifi. The other one, we don't know. The Hummel, we haven't seen. We haven't heard from him at all. Unless, of course, that was him there. And Fluffy has just killed the enemy Leffy. He worked out where he was and killed him. I think that was a counter battery. Okay, the KV-220 needs to go over on the other side of the railway line and scout with the Leopard to find out what the enemy's doing over there. T-34 stays where he is, and then Zoe could go over to the bushes and move forward along the west side of the map. Oh, we just lost the Leopard to the enemy Hummel. So Zoe's decided to grip the bull by the horns. She's going to do something. She's going to drive down there and force the enemy to fire. And that gives Fluffy and the Fifi on our team a chance to get some solid damage on the enemy. We've got 3 Arty still alive. The SU-8 and the Fifi have got the fastest fire rate. The Gorilla, not so fast. And our Gorilla player hasn't actually got any kills yet. But our Fifi, our Leffy player, has got 2 kills. So's Fluffy, so they could be quite devastating if Zoe can find the enemy for them. KB-220 is still not moving. And the Type 64 is trying to encourage him to move down, but he just doesn't want to know. Zoe may have to do it alone. See the smoke from the wreck of the Matilda up ahead. I suspect that's where the enemy is. And the people are still pinging. And Zoe's saying the KV-220 is a bit of a chicken. Well, he is, because he's got a tier 7 hull protecting him, and he's just not moving down. It would be difficult for Zoe to engage them, but I have a feeling that if the KV-1 and the Jagdpanzer are the ones over on the hill on the other side of the battlefield. Oh, the KV-1's got in the back. He's in the back. He's in the A line. He managed to get over the railway line unspotted, and Fluffy's just been killed. And that's what happens when the KV-220 doesn't do what he's supposed to do. And now we've lost one of our major assets. Absolutely terrible. Well, Zoe can't turn around. She has to go forward and try and get the enemy down this end. Even more so now, because the others are going to be relying on her to get the enemy at this end so she could clean up. I think our Fifi is actually holding that KV-1 at bay. Now the KV-220 is moving. It's a bit late. Okay, Jagdpanzer 4. So he wasn't on the hill, and Zoe can start dealing with him. The M4 is nearby. 3 shots and he'd be down. Kill next shot. Oh, she didn't get it. Go for it this time. Yes, she gets it. Now the M4, he's nearby. She turns to face him. He's firing HE at her. And the enemy's now capping at the other end. There's the M4. He's got a round into her for 136. She's down to 80 hit points. She's doing her best to take him on. She's only got 2 rounds of standard ammo. She's going to be burning into the APCR very shortly. There he is. And she kills him with 1 shot. Okay, so there's only 3 left on the enemy team. We know where the Hummel is. He is now definitely up on top of the hill. And they've stopped the cap. But we've only got 2 minutes left to win the game. There's only 2 left on the enemy team. And now the KV-220's turned up. They can both go into the cap. But the KV-220 needs to go ahead of Zoe, because Zoe's got virtually no hit points left at all. And both of them are going to have to go in the cap in order to cap out in time. Zoe's hanging back for the moment. I think she needs to go into the cap. The T-34S needs to move down as well. He needs to get into the cap. They need to force this issue. So he's hanging back just in case the Hummel is in the bushes. I don't think he is. I think he's on top of the hill. We've got to get 2 in the cap. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to cap out in time. There's not enough time left for 1 to cap on his own. The T-34S must get into the cap. And he's not doing it. He's not doing it. They're going to lose this, or they're going to get a draw, because the T-34S did not look at the time. You cannot cap on your own. It takes 1 minute 40 seconds, and there's not that much time left on the clock. We've only got 36 seconds left to go, and it takes at least a minute to cap. And the T-34S has just been hit by the enemy Arty. Unfortunately, I have to say that if Zoe had actually gone down herself when the KV-220 did, she would have had 2 in the cap. She could have won for sure. but she held back just in case the Hummel was spotted. And I don't think there's enough time left to do it. Can she do it? No, it can't be done. It's out of time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're out of time. 1 second is all it took. If only the T-34S had gone to the cap, or Zoe had gone to the cap, they would have had a win. But they left it too late. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Oh, and this is another heartbreak of a draw, because she managed to get an ace tank in that game. She really did. She put up with a huge amount of punishment. She got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 5 exactly. A duelist, a fire for effect, a shell proof. Out of the other medals, she picked up a cool-headed. She got 3 epic medals, a steel wall for blocking the most damage, a high caliber for dealing the most damage, and a top gun for getting 6 kills. But it was sadly all let down by just 1 second. 1 second is all it took. 1 second. If either Zoe had moved behind the KV-220 and used them as a shield, she could have got into the cap. They would have capped out in time and they would have won the game. Or if the T-34S had stopped in the cap instead of going to the railway line crossing, they would have won. And it's very, very sad indeed. And she said this. I'm not surprised she said that. I can't say the words because it would actually affect me on the algorithm. But yes, I can understand how you feel. If you look at damage, you can see Zoe got the highest damage in the game, 2,308 hit points. Next highest scorer was KV1 with 1,486. After that, it was the SU8 of Fluffy with 923. Yes, he did do a lot of damage. And that Fifi did quite well as well for 922 hit points. When it came to kills, it was Zoe who got 6 kills, the Top Gun. 3 kills went to the KV1 on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to the Fifi, Fluffy, and the enemy Fifi as well. And in fact, actually, what I didn't notice at the time was the KV1 actually was killed by the Arty, Jimmy at the other end, or the T-34 shielded at the other end. He did actually kill that KV-1, so they were only facing the Hummel and the Archer when they went into the cap. When it came to base XP, it was Zoe again, 685, the next high scorer, the KV-1 with 535, and then the Type 64 with 419. And we can see that Fluffy managed to get 416, and where was Just a Pixel? Oh dear, right. Well, we won't say anymore. He did get sort of like taken out fairly easy at the start, but he was sitting behind Zoe. And Zoe's an immovable object, and the KV-2 isn't if you hit it in the right places. So let's have a look at detail. Zoe fired 34 rounds of 17-pounder ammunition, got 21 direct hits and 17 penetrations. 2,308 hit points of damage, of which 320 were at more than 300 meters, the rest at close range. She received 36 hits from the enemy, only 8 of which penetrated, 28 didn't penetrate, and 6 hits as a result of splash damage, most of those from the enemy Arty. She blocked damage of 2,725 hit points. She spotted 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 6 of the enemy, and did 430 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, she earned 37,489 credits, and after the Achievements Award for getting a draw, that's for getting an epic medal in a losing or a drawn game, 4,858 credits. She had 42,348, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 30,582 credits. She received 1,028 XP, got 615 for the Achievements Award, 49 for playing in a platoon, took away 1,692 altogether. So, yeah, very sad ending to this battle, but it just goes to show how tough an AT-8 is with the 17-pounder gun. It really is very, very tough tank indeed. It's got that horrible glaring weak spot, so you don't really want to let the enemy see that cupola, but if you can hide in the bushes, then the rounds are just going to be bouncing off the armor. And yes, it's almost like giving away free steel walls. So yeah, if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.